Voice, the heart, the soul of the Cayman Islands.
And now, Radio Cayman presents The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter. Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. Here's your host, Anita Khan.
Good morning and welcome to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. First up, we will highlight women's health. Following the news, 8 o'clock news that is, weather and report, we will have our monthly discussion with the RCIPS. Our guest from GNC has been in the health and fitness industry for 26 years and is a certified nutritionist, sports nutritionist, corporate wellness coach, certified stress management coach, certified lifestyle coach, and certified kids nutrition coach. We'd like to welcome Melanie De Haney to the studio this morning. Good morning, Melanie.
Good morning, Anita. Thank you.
How are you?
I am great. Good morning to our listeners also. I am great.
And, of course, our YouTube viewers and our producer, Ms. Susan Watson, in the next studio. She always she's having fun, manning the board.
She always does.
Manning the board, doing the camera, just about everything else. So, Melanie, let's talk about you for a little bit. We only have about maybe 29 minutes or so, 28 minutes.
To talk about me?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
I want to hear all about you because I see you're a nutritionist, sports nutritionist, corporate wellness coach. You do so much. Just tell us a little bit about yourself so we get to know you.
Okay. Well, actually, I kind of fell into nutrition by accident. It wasn't planned. It wasn't something I even knew of when I started out in college. I actually started out doing accounting. And, of course, college life can be expensive, so you need to make some extra funds. And a friend of mine had just bought a nutrition store in the Bahamas. And so she asked me to come and work part-time. So I would only go to the store at 2 hours in the evening from 4 to 6 p.m. And it turns out that when I was there at 4 to 6 p.m., I was more productive than the entire staff that she had there for the day. Because, I was very young, I was very eager, and I find it to be very interesting simply because growing up as a child in our household, it was always about etiquettes and everything being proper, nutrition. Don't eat too much, don't drink too much. So I grew up with that mindset where health was very important in my family life. I'm all aspects of my family. My grandma, she never been to the UK, but she was all about the Queen, and everything had to be done the Queen's way. And so I grew up in that, and exercise was a must. So when I got into that and I realized how much fun it was, that's really what I started out doing, was having fun with it. And in the process, I decided, okay, let me just continue to have fun. And so I switched my major to nutrition and I started studying. But nutrition is such a wide and contradictive topic that you can study. It's almost like staying in one lane is not an option. It's best to just know a little bit about everything as much as you can, because you get hit with so many questions from so many different people in so many different ways all the time. You just really can't keep up. But, it's good to have basic knowledge of a little bit of everything to kind of keep you well-rounded. And so I just did it, and I never got out of it. So I got into fitness training. I got into corporate wellness. I got into fitness coach, and I came to Cayman. I went to Jamaica. So I've had a little bit of the Caribbean, background in getting people want to get fit, want to do things. Basically, overall, it's really about a healthy lifestyle. It's all about losing weight, staying healthy, and kind of not look your age, but age at the same time.
I hear you.
So I've just fell in it, and I never got out of it.
So I could say you're a certified wellness all-rounder.
Yes, pretty much. And it's always something you never stop learning, because it's continuing education. Yeah. And so there's always a new course to fill out. There's always something else you want to get certified in, or to have people know, okay, did you know about this or did you know about that? So it's a very interesting topic, actually.
Well, I'm glad you're in the studio this morning, because
Thank
we want to
you.
hear we want to get inside your brain.
Oh, I'll try.
So, Melanie, we know aging is that natural process. We all have to age. It happens over time. Mm-hmm. Now, and there are tips out there, and I know you have some somewhere in there. What is anti-aging?
Anti-aging basically are man-made supplements. I mean, in today's world, it's really man-made supplements that is created in a lab to help your cell to regenerate your cells, because naturally, like everything else, there's a tree out there. It gets older over a period of time. However, it takes longer to get much older if you don't care it. So if you don't water it, if you don't prune it, whatnot, then it starts to wither. The body is no different. So these supplements that are created will help your body to fight oxidation. That's the amount of stress that you endure on a daily basis. So it works inside out. It repairs all, increased blood flow, increased oxygenated blood flow, gives you that feel-good feeling for the most part, because it's inevitable. We have to age. However, I find that the stress comes in when we start looking to slow down aging process after we already start to age.
I'm trying to.
So the key is, it's like you don't try to recover an orange when it starts to wither. You prevent it from getting to that stage for as long as you can. The body is no different. I think in today's world, with technology and stress and everything is on the go and everything is quick and everything is fast, we tend to think everything works in that manner, but it doesn't. And so
now I'm going to start looking myself at an orange that is going bad.
Let's keep it in the fridge.
keep this idea.
And so what happens is that you don't want to wait until you're 50 to start going to the gym, to start eating healthy, to start taking supplements. I'll be 50 in June.
Hey, I'm 11 years ahead of you.
So you start earlier. You look at yourself and like, okay, what do I want to look like when I get to a certain age? God forbid I make it that far. And you may or you may not, but you're hopeful, and so you start taking care of what it has been addressed as the temple. This is your temple. You live in it. It's your home.
That's right.
And so I'm assuming you'd want to ensure that your home is clean, is airy, is fresh, is relaxing. Unfortunately, the body, that based on environment and everything, it doesn't always go that way. But you can do your part in the meantime and take it slow. So stress is, as we know it to be, is one of the greatest, possibly, outside of ailments and sickness, is one of the greatest aging factor.
So with regards to aging, you are at GNC, right? What do you have over at GNC that I can take to prevent, my orange going bad, worse?
Well, you can start with your multivitamin. It's as simple as that, because we don't get all the nutrients that we need from our foods. And even though I dabble a lot into nutrition, I have to understand that food nowadays is not what it used to be. And so back in the days, 20, 30, 40 years ago, when you did not need vitamin as much because the food was so nutritious or natural, now it's not the same. So a multivitamin give you additional nutrients that we don't get from the foods that we eat. Nowadays, it's the quality or the lack of our foods these days. Okay, so we can start with something as simple and as basic as that.
And you have lots of those over
Oh,
at
we
GNC,
have.
right?
They're all specialized for for the active person, for the person just sitting at a desk, for someone who wants to utilize a little bit more energy. The multi-packs, we have a great pack called the Whole Body. I understand a lot of people may not like taking a lot of tablets, but that one is complete. It has 8 tablets in the packet, but you don't have to take them all at once. Okay. And so it gives you your antioxidants, it gives you your multivitamins, it gives you your fish oil, it gives you your nutrients to help with brain function, considering a lot of people sit a lot for many hours during the course of the day and move very little. So it has a little bit of everything that a woman would need on the go.
Okay. And speaking of women, this morning, you basically want to put a focus on women's health.
Pretty much,
right?
Yes.
So, and as we age, menopause will, of course, come into play. And it's important to focus on getting the necessary nutrients during menopause. Now, are we supposed to limit a certain or avoid a certain type of food so as not to worsen symptoms of menopause?
Yes, that would be necessary because, again, not everyone have the same aging process.
Right.
Of course, DNA plays an important role for most people. But if you know that growing up or over the years, even starting with your period, it is very stressful on your body, then you have to, at that point in time, start thinking about, if period is this stressful, this is really not the it-all and be-all, then the next phase goes into menopause. And so it would be important or necessary for you to start thinking of your health going forward and limiting unnecessary calories, as I would put it. Junk food is the world's nutrient these days. You live by that. It's quick, fast, quick, and easy. And so most people get into that based on their schedule, based on financial difficulties and whatnot. And so, but in the process of that, women, because women go through so much, you work at work and you work at home, and then you have kids. So that alone put all the stress on your body that can make everything get worse. So just be mindful of what you put in. We always said in nutrition world, you are what you eat.
That's right.
and so look at the foods that you're putting in your body and look at the benefits that you think it will yield later on in life. And just take it one day at a time, but always thinking ahead of, what am I preparing my body for? What would I like the process to be when menopause steps in? There are supplements that can help. Some people actually require more than supplements, and that's where the doctors come in. But for those who are more on the healthier side, day-to-day healthier side, you have your evening primrose oil that helps hormonal balance. I've been using that from I was having my period, and I actually still do, because I find that it makes a difference during those really crazy days. And I'm hoping it'll make a difference going forward. But it's not just that. Exercise also has a lot to do with ensuring that menopause can be a little easy. It's not to say, oh, if I do all this, then menopause will be a breeze. No, actually it's not. You can do all of that, and then you're just blindsided by something else later on in life, and it makes everything that you did seem unimportant to what is happening now. But at least you tried.
Yeah, you could say that, right? Now, Melanie, would you recommend that that someone who's struggling with those menopause symptoms work with a qualified nutritionist like yourself?
Yes, they can. I would suggest that. They come in and we can have a talk. What I find a lot of times when I have someone come in and they want to know about the natural path, they call it to menopause or to nutrition, if along the line of question and I ask and I don't see where I can help you, I'll suggest that you go to the doctor and do a checkup and take it from there, because it's not everything natural health can work for an individual. So again, it's a customized, that's why it's called a customized package for an individual. So we don't play doctors, let me put it out there. But I use the tools that I've learned over the years for basic questioning. And if you're willing to try what I'm offering or what I'm suggesting, most people do try and they actually like it. They yield the results, and someone says, okay, that doesn't work. I'm like, okay, you have to try another path. So we try to be open and honest with our customers. But natural way is always a good way to go.
I absolutely agree with that. If you're just joining us, you're listening to The Business Buzz. This is our first segment this morning. We're speaking with Melanie De Haney, and she is a certified nutritionist, sports nutritionist, corporate wellness coach, certified stress management coach, certified life coach, and certified kids nutrition coach. And she is with GNC. Melanie, what are some factors? This segue before we go to break into weight loss. What are some factors that can prevent weight loss?
They can prevent or encourage?
Encourage, sorry. Okay. Encourage, yes. We'd like to prevent it, eh?
Yeah, encourage weight loss. For those individuals that, have had a struggle, and a lot of people have had the struggle, the battle of the bulge. And my suggestion would be is nutrition. But at the same time, even though you quote nutrition as being the most important thing for weight loss, it doesn't work that way for everyone, because for the food lovers out there, it is very, very, very difficult. And so you encourage nutrition, exercise, and natural supplements is also another way to go that most people try as well.
Now, should I be journaling my intake every day?
You can start. I
tried.
I guarantee you it's not going to work.
By the afternoon, I was like, what did I eat today? But it does help, right?
It does help if you have that mindset to be consistent and you have the discipline. but I don't find where a lot of people actually can maintain that, to be honest, over maybe a week maximum. But even a week, if you can get something in, started for a week, that would still help, because at least it'll give you an idea of how much you're eating and how much less you need to eat based on your activity or your lack thereof.
So how many calories, what should be my calorie intake?
Ooh.
I mean, nowadays I notice it's going between 1,200 and a certain, was it 1,200 to 1,300? But let me have your take.
It depends, actually, on your activity or your lack thereof. I will also suggest the type of work that you do will pretty much determine how many calories you need to consume for the day. It also based on your age, your height, and your weight. So for an individual that sits at a desk for, let's say, 6 hours per day, 12 to 1,400 calories is way too much, because you're not burning it and you're doing that every single day. Now, it's different if that individual has activity. So either they work out before they go into the office or they exercise after leaving the office. But if you don't, you pretty much, based on your age, your height, and weight, let's say everything is pretty much based on a 150-pound person. For a semi-sedentary lifestyle individual, car work office, I would suggest anywhere from 1,000 to maximum 1,200, and that's with exercise. Okay. Just guesstimating, of course. Do not quote me on this, please.
Which carbs should we avoid?
Simple carbs. If you know your carbohydrates, that would be your simple carbs. And your simple carbs are anything that has high amounts of sugar. So the snack foods, I'm sorry, which is what everybody tends to pull for, the snacks. Those are really the ones that I would suggest avoiding, to be honest.
Cleaning them out of your cupboards. We're going to take a quick break. We're speaking with Melanie De Haney. She's over at GNC. We're talking women's health and a little bit more. Thanks to our sponsors this morning, Cayman Insurance Center and Cayman Medical Supplies.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
In early 1669, the Spanish Queen Regent issued a general decree authorizing reprisals against those who attacked her territories in ships. The action came in response to attack by notable privateer Henry Morgan, who used the Cayman Islands as a staging point for his attacks against Cuba. In retaliation for these attacks, the Cayman Islands would become the target of the Spanish. On April 14, 1669, Spanish privateer Manuel Rivero Pardal, with a contingent of 5 ships led by the San Pedro y Fama, attacked several turtling vessels anchored at Hudson's Hole in Little Cayman. Pardal was able to sneak upon his prey by disguising his ships with English flags until they had arrived within musket range, at which point their Spanish flags were raised. In a relatively easy victory, Pardal would set fire to the turtling houses and huts before absconding with the English ship, the Hopewell, and moving his attack onto the northern coast of Jamaica. Most notable from his attack on the north coast of Jamaica was a famous note pinned to the tree at Point Negril, which bragged of his exploits in the Caymans and challenged for a head-to-head fight with Henry Morgan.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's historical vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
And for 45 years, we have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Still delivering island-wide for your convenience. Tune in Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. for the Daily Sports Report, covering local, regional, and international sports. Proudly brought to you by Dr. Wayne Porter, offering a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. Call 946-9020 to book your appointment today.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. We're looking at women's health in particular and speaking to Miss Melanie De Haney, and she's coming to us from GNC Grand Cayman. Melanie, it's a pleasure to have you in the studio.
Thank you again, Susan.
Anita.
Sorry, Anita.
Susan.
Susan is next door.
They call her Anita. They call me Susan. Yeah, we get mixed up all the time. That's fine. It's fine. Now, Melanie, what are the benefits of regular physical activity in relation to exercise?
Benefits of it is...
and we were talking about that offline.
Leaner.
Off.
Building muscle. As you know, lean muscle, when you're leaner, it helps with your body to burn fat more, body fat, and which is pretty much what everybody like to have, a lean looking physique with reduced body fat. So keeping active overall will actually achieve that. But again, Anita, it's a total package. It's not I'm doing one and I'm doing so much exercise and I'm not seeing any result. So it really falls into nutrition, exercise. Your rest also has a lot to do with it. So the physical aspect is just one way of maintaining that physique. Not everybody wants to be skinny or lean, but it still is an overall healthy lifestyle. So you keep diabetes at bay, you keep high blood pressure at bay, you lower your cholesterol when you include everything as a total package.
I'm one of those people who like to work out in the mornings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an evening person. I suffer greatly because by the time it comes around, I say 4:30, I don't want to do anything. I'm ready to go sleep, or I don't want to work out. What would you recommend to people like myself, who's always struggling with working out in the evening? So if I don't work out in the morning, I definitely don't want to work out in the evening. What would you say to me?
Just try and be consistent with your morning trainings, because it's a preference, and you and I are the same. If I go to in the mornings. If I go to the gym in the evenings, I only socialize. Like, I don't have the energy for anything else. So everybody has this, okay, do this. It's best to do that. It's best to do what you enjoy, because that's really what workout is all about. So if you enjoy working out in the mornings and it suits your day just fine, then my suggestion is to stick to the morning. As long as you have a routine of at least 3 days per week, you stick to that and you get your joy out of it. But don't just do it. Get your mental health in it, because it's a part of mental health as well. And a lot of the times where a lot of our programs are inhibited, you can't lose weight, but you're killing yourself in the gym. You're eating grass pretty much, or salads. it's because you're mentally not there yet. You're not really ready for what you're doing, and so it doesn't click, as we say. If you put your mind to it and you go at it, it can be effortless. But if you're doing it because everybody else wants you to do it, or you think that's the solution now, then it's not going to work. And that will definitely prevent you from getting to your goals. So you're working, you're not losing any weight. What are all those? It could be, again, mind not settled. You're eating on your off times. So most people consume high-calorie meal before going to bed. And so you're going to sleep. Don't need a heavy meal.
You know? Rice before you go to sleep.
No. My grandma says, eat like the queen. Eat breakfast like a pauper. Eat lunch like, I don't remember what it was. Breakfast like a pauper. Breakfast like a king. Lunch like a, don't remember what that was, sorry. But it's supposed to be a medium lunch. It's not supposed to be as big as your breakfast. And your dinner, essentially, is supposed to be your lightest meal. Because it's when you're doing the least amount of anything. But for most people, it's the other way around because of work and stress.
Going back to the multivitamins, do you recommend keeping them in the refrigerator to preserve the freshness and effectiveness? I mean, most people keep them in the cupboard. Do people ever keep them in the refrigerator? It's an off question.
Okay, so a lot of times economically a bigger bottle of multivitamin is more worth it. And if you're buying that large bottle, then I would suggest keeping it in the fridge, because each time you open it and air gets trapped in the bottle, it can go off maybe 6 months later. So yes, that would be a good idea. If it's a small bottle that you will be using up within a month, you just keep it in a cool area in your cupboard or on your countertop.
As a nutritionist, what are a few suggestions on healthy choices for breakfast, lunch, or even dinner? What do you take? There's not one ounce of fat on you, Melanie.
That's DNA. It's in my DNA. Anita, that's in my DNA.
It's your grandma?
Yes, that's all my grandma, my dad. The thing about it is that it's just, if you eat... just consider what you're going to burn and eat in accordance. So it's really a difficult question to answer, nutrition these days, because of everybody's on the go. Just have something small. For those people, most people eat on the road. So again, that makes it even more difficult to say what you should have. If you eat at home, have an egg. For those who eat egg, have tuna. For those who have tuna, have a yogurt. Maybe have some fruits. We need another topic just for that, Anita.
Yes.
I kid you not.
You'll be back.
Because it can be very misleading if you just say this, because we have to take into consideration what everybody likes and what everybody don't like. Most people that eat on the road, they'll get a little porridge. That's fine. They'll get 2 boiled eggs. That's fine. They get a Burger King sandwich. That's fine. It's as long as you get something in your system to get your engine started. Let's put it that way.
First thing. Breaking your fast. I believe in breaking your fast. I'm breaking it real well. Now, let's move over to GNC. What are some of the products at GNC that are designed especially to support overall wellness and...
women's health?
Women's health.
Collagen. Collagen. I would recommend and encourage everyone to come in and have collagen. Your multivitaminism.
Is that something that... collagen is your collagen...
it's the most abundant protein in the body.
Is it vegan?
No,
vegetarian?
You don't get collagen. You have amino acids from plants that will help your body to produce collagen. But collagen, unfortunately, only comes from the animal world, whether it's a seafood or your cows or whatnot. Yes. So, but you can take your tablets. You can have fish. For those who eat fish, we have marine collagen. So we can start. We can start with that. We can start with your antioxidants as well. We can start with your multivitamin is a big part of it. You can do your fish oil. It does wonders in the body. You can do your resveratrol. Those are some of the little things that you pinpoint out for just to get started on something to aid your cells. It makes you rejuvenate, makes you feel more energetic.
Melanie, we have so much to talk about, but give us location and opening hours.
Queen, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Saturday. Queen's Court, Country Corner at the same time, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Saturdays.
Country Corner is my favorite place, Melanie. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For by Radio Cayman. I will definitely have you back in.
Yes, please. Yes, please. And we have Krishan, Emily, Melanie, and David ready to assist whenever you come in with your questions. And remember, guys, we're not doctors, but we do our best to assist.
I think you're doing a great job. Thank you so much for joining us on the Business Buzz. Coming up, Susan's got time check, news, weather, traffic, and we'll be back with the RCIPS.
Thank you so much, Anita. And studio time now by Foster's is 8 o'clock.
It's time to live well with Foster's and CG Brit K.
Live Well is your source for recipe ideas and lifestyle tips to help you achieve your healthy living goals.
Head to livewell.fosters.ky and discover the best herbs to fill your indoor garden and 5 ways to repurpose egg cartons.
Plus, you'll find our latest Live Well recipe.
This week, we have cheesy turkey taco skillet full of fresh, affordable ingredients.
Get started at livewell.fosters.ky.
Live Well with Foster's and CG Brit K.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. Following Cayman's mass migration contingency plan, Customs and Border Control says the Elliott Connolly Civic Center in Gun Bay is temporarily housing 23 migrants. As we reported right here on Radio Cayman earlier this week, the Customs and Border Control Detention Center is now at capacity, and the Elliott Connolly Civic Center is one of 4 civic centers listed in the plan as supplemental short-term accommodation for migrants. The Mass Migration Committee is working on alternative accommodation so they can avoid the use of civic centers where possible. 37 migrants were recently transferred from Cayman Brac to Grand Cayman due to insufficient resources in the sister island to help effectively manage that number of migrants. The Public Works Department kicks off its inaugural skills competition this morning. Interested members of the public can attend the competition sessions, which will run on 2 days from 9 a.m. until noon. The PWD has received support from several private sector entities, including Andrew Group Limited, Phoenix Group, Arch and Godfrey Cayman, and Dart Enterprises to host the event. It's a battle of skills among trainees in the apprenticeship training program at the PWD North Sound Road location. The aim of the competition is to showcase the skills of students in the program and create awareness about technical vocational education and training in the Cayman Islands. Acting Director at the Public Works Department, Troy Worm, says the event provides an opportunity for the trainees to show the skills they have been developing to shape a better future for themselves. He says the apprenticeship training program has grown to 13 programs since its inception in 2006, and they are fully accredited by City and Guilds London Institute. The skills competition will include electrical installation, carpentry, masonry, as well as air conditioning and refrigeration. And Director for the Department of Children and Family Services, Belinda Mendoza-Williams, says during Child Month, they're taking a holistic approach when it comes to building wellness with Cayman's kids.
We're looking at the child from head to toe, right arm, left foot, the entire child. If we don't invest in our children from now, take care of them, build their wellness, physical, educational, social, intellectual, their mental health, we are going to be staring down a road that will not be very pretty.
Ms. Mendoza-Williams says from a department administrative perspective, they'll continue to provide the support and services needed that foster healthy, holistic children. Now in its 26th year, Child Month is observed annually in May and is organized by the Department of Children and Family Services. Activities continue this Friday with the district's Games Night in Boddentown. Registration is required for the event, so call ahead 926-6669. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Jerry Smith. The President and the Prime Minister of Finland have said their country must apply for membership of NATO without delay, after the Russian war in Ukraine forced it to reassess its traditionally neutral stance. The decision will be announced formally on Sunday. Moscow has reacted angrily, saying Finland's NATO entry posed a direct threat to Russia. Estonia has welcomed Finland's stated intention to join NATO and says it will make a major difference to security in the Baltic region. The UN Human Rights Council has been holding an emergency session in Geneva to examine evidence of violations in Ukraine. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Michelle Bachelet, said 1,000 bodies have been recovered in areas north of the capital Kyiv in recent weeks. The White House has announced that the United States has passed more than 1 million deaths from the coronavirus. It's the highest official total in the world, although the World Health Organization believes the true number may be higher in other countries. A Sri Lankan court has banned the former Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, his son and 15 of their allies from leaving the country. Mr Rajapaksa resigned on Monday after his supporters attacked anti-government protesters. A BBC investigation has uncovered a global network of Nigerian Separatists who are using social media to spread false information. The Separatists threaten those who oppose Biafran independence, which would see southeast Nigeria break away from the rest of the country. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com. Did you know that ValueMed Pharmacy has a free online prescription service? Managing your health and medical requirements has never been easier with ValueMed. Simply visit value-medpharmacy.com. That's VALU-medpharmacy.com and click the Refill Prescriptions tab on our website. Fill in the information for new prescriptions or refills and choose your preferred pickup location. ValueMed on Walkers Road or Town. Then bring in your original prescription from your doctor when picking up. There's no need to stand in line and wait for your prescription. Save time and pick up prescriptions at your convenience by visiting value-medpharmacy.com. That's VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
Radio Cayman News.
Police attend to the scene of an overturned vehicle accident early this morning.
There are more than 1,600 active cases of COVID-19 in the Cayman Islands, with the 7-day rolling average continuing to climb.
Central government recorded a surplus of $220.965 million.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
Hello, Cayman. Join us on Saturday, May 21st for the Progressives Family Fun Day. It will be a day full of fun for all the family. Lots of food, music, prizes and surprises. The fun begins at 11 a.m. on the beach a half-mile east of the Frank Sound Junction. See our Facebook pages for transportation details.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Head east on Cove Road. Sharp left on Church Street. Sharper left. No, your other left. Did I say left? Nope, you missed it. Okay, I'm lost.
With money-saving bundling options for home and motor, we're like a GPS that doesn't steer you wrong. CG Britcay. Good like that.
Let's stop and ask for directions.
Pleasant good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 82 degrees. Relative humidity is 64%. The barometric pressure is 29.89 inches and rising. The wind is out of the northeast at 7 knots. Overnight low temperature was 80 degrees. Synopsis indicate the continued weak pressure gradient across the northwest Caribbean will continue to support light winds and seas, along with an increase in cloudiness and showers over the next few days. Satellite images show cloudiness west of the Cayman area, which are slowly drifting towards the west. Now the forecast for today calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers, and temperatures will rise to the mid to upper 80s. Winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with cloudy spells and a 30% chance of showers, and temperatures falling to the mid-70s tonight Winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots over Grand Cayman, east to southeast at 5 to 10 knots over the sister islands of Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Seas will be smooth with wave heights of less than 2 feet. Low tide will be this afternoon at 11 minutes past 1, high tide again tonight at 7:41. The sun will set this evening at 6:51 and will rise tomorrow morning at 5:52. And the outlook is calling for an increase in cloudiness and showers from Friday afternoon. That's the very latest on your weather report.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Good morning, everyone. Hello? Hello? Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Okay, I see we have just about everyone, and of course Tom drops off, as per usual. Let's just wait a minute here. He always comes right back, and we're almost ready, and... oh, whoever's dog that is, please go on mute. Why won't it let me share my screen? Okay, looks like we're ready to start.
We're like a video conference with no technical issues. CG Britcay. Good like that.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning once again. Let's take a look at how your traffic is shaping up this morning. On Shamrock Road, further up on Shamrock Road, traffic is moving along steadily. As you approach the Linford Pearson Highway, traffic is steady. Further down on the Linford Pearson Highway, busy traffic. Busy traffic coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, slight delays expected. And busy traffic on Crew Road heading to Georgetown. Eastbound traffic on Crew Road is moving on moderately. And traffic is busy coming off of Agnes Way. Busy traffic coming off of the Esler Tibbetts Highway. Delays expected as you head on to your final destination. On the West Bay Road, traffic is moderate in both directions, especially in the vicinity of the Ritz-Carlton. Coming from the West Bay four-way stop, expect moderate flow of traffic, and traffic is flowing at a good pace on Edward Street and Owen Roberts Drive. As we look to Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, traffic is moderate, and North Sound Road as well. That's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12 o'clock. We'll give you another traffic report. Have a good morning and drive safe, Cayman Islands.
Subway makes it easy for you to stay on top of your health and wellness goals with our Fresh Fit menu options. Choose from 5 Fresh Fit Subway sandwiches with only 450 calories or less per 6-inch sub. Turkey breast, veggie, oven roasted chicken, black forest ham, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, or make your 6-inch Fresh Fit sub into a salad or wrap prepared with fresh vegetables. For a full menu and nutritional information, visit subway.ky. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Celebrate the Queen's Platinum Jubilee in time with a special look here on Saturday, 14th of May.
The Cayman Islands National Museum is hosting a fun interactive event in honor of Her Majesty's 70-year reign.
That's right.
Come along and witness the official reveal of the Miss Annie Huldebutton animatronic. Join the museum at the open-air, family-friendly event on Goring Avenue from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m.
Okay.
Sample delicious local food and sweet treats. Enjoy live performances and take home handwork from local artisans. Enjoy the museum's Queen Jubilee.
Look here.
And see a moving likeness of another great lady. For more details, visit museum.ky.
Yeah, you don't want to miss that one.
Business Boss. Realty.com.
15 minutes after 8 o'clock. Good morning. Welcome back to the Business Buzz. This is our second and final segment for this Thursday morning. And we will continue with our regular segment with the RCIPS, which is, of course, every second Thursday of the month. Our guest in the studio this morning, Jody Ann Parry. She's the police media officer, and she's always in here either giving support or information during that time. And joining her this morning also from the RCIPS, we have Mr. David Templeman. David is the financial investigation specialist with the Cayman Islands Bureau of Financial Investigation. And today, it's a very interesting topic. We'll be discussing digital currency, and our guest will be telling us about some red flags to look out for to help you navigate how to identify what are legitimate investments from fraudulent ones. I want to say good morning to Jody Ann, first of all. Good morning, Jody Ann.
Good morning.
And good morning to David.
Good morning, Anita.
First time in the studio?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. And
Susan is in the next studio. You'll see her on your peripheral signaling to me sometimes. That's Susan. But it's good to have you this morning in the studio. Now, David, since it's your first time, we'll put you on the spot. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I've been in policing for about 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
I am a special constable in the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service now. I've been here for about 18 months. I didn't know anything about cryptocurrency when I arrived, and I certainly do now. So I used to work as an operations manager for the National Crime Agency in London, and essentially my job was to take money off criminals. So we would go into court and lodge proceedings there to take money off criminals when they shouldn't have it. So that's been my career up until now.
Confiscation?
Confiscation and civil forfeiture as well.
Oh, civil forfeiture. That's a good way to put it. Especially if you're getting it from criminals. Well, it's good to have you in the studio this morning. Jody, and talk about yourself. Because for that first-time listener who don't know you, never heard your lovely voice before.
Oh, but I don't know. You guys have such loyal listeners. I don't know if you have first-time listeners.
I'm
but yes,
sure we do.
I'm Jody Ann Parry. I'm the police media officer, and one of my jobs is to do proactive media on trending crime topics, and that's one of the things that we're here today. My role today is to facilitate this here topic because it goes way over my head. So
yours on mine?
Yeah. So I'll be more on your side this morning. I might be the one asking some of the questions along with you. But yeah, I'm happy to be here, and thank you very much for always inviting us over on a monthly basis.
Thank you, Susan. You're very welcome. Now, David, let me turn to you. Explain to us exactly why you're here this morning, what you're here to discuss, and what we hope to achieve by you sharing this information you're about to give us.
Sure. So the unit that I work for, the Cayman Islands Bureau of Financial Investigation, we investigate specialist crimes, or really complex stuff, including cryptocurrency. It's a relatively new unit on the island. So I think last year there was some communication that went out from the police to the public, just warning against the sort of general dangers of getting caught out in investment frauds, specifically in cryptocurrency. And unfortunately, I'm still seeing quite a few come in, and unfortunate residents of the Cayman Islands are still being caught out. So I'm hoping to use this session to hopefully give a bit more information to residents to protect them against losing money, getting caught up in the scam. Perhaps being a little bit more informed about what those investment frauds might look like if you're in the middle of it, or I want to outline some trends as well of what I'm seeing, what's coming across my desk, and also give you some red flags, some things to look out for. People are going to make investments. I know money's sort of increasingly tight and costs are going up, and people are looking to keep pace with inflation or what have you, so people are going to want to invest their money. But sometimes if it looks too good to be true, it is. So I want to sort of also try to demystify cryptocurrency and virtual currencies. Just because it says cryptocurrency, it doesn't mean it's illegal or involving drugs. I think that's a common misconception. So hopefully some of those topics I want to get across to you this morning.
I'm all ears. I could just say, David, just take the mic and just talk to us.
Yes.
But before we do, I might just be tempted to do that. But no. What exactly is digital currency?
Okay, so the first sort of digital currency, and definitely the best known, is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is a decentralized ledger, so that you can send money from peer to peer without involving governments and banks. You can just do it from person to person, and it's the software that it sits, the protocol, is the biggest thing to happen, for technology sort of software since the TCP/IP protocol, which is the thing that makes the internet work. It's a massive leap forward. It has been with us for about 13 years. It's battle tested. It is possible for you to send value from one wallet or person to another for basically not far off for free or for a very low cost. So things like transactions, if you're sending money home to your home country, you can do it via this mechanism. So that a very low level explanation of what Bitcoin is. It runs on a technology. It's built from lots of different technologies, but the sort of the new interesting one is a concept called blockchain, which is a decentralized ledger that we can all see what's happening. So we can all sort of sit around and agree in consensus that Jodianne has sent Anita some money, and we all say, yeah, we can all see that, and we all agree that that's happened. Now, it doesn't sound that complex. It is when you involve the cryptography and the mathematics behind it. But in basic terms, that's what it is. And actually, that concept, that technology, can be used all over the place. It has so many different use cases and utilities. So I imagine that this sort of blockchain stuff will creep into our lives, just like the internet has, and it will disrupt industry. And it will just become part of what we do, and what you probably won't notice it. It will just run things underneath. It's not malicious or anything. It will just become part of everything.
The first thing I can think about is some of the banks losing fees, transfer fees. Wire transfer is very expensive, and if I can send money to Julianne and she can send to me, and at a very low cost,
and no lines.
No lines.
I
didn't reach that far. No lines, no standing up to do that. No, but no, I see what you're saying. Now, what are some of the other? Cryptocurrency. That's a main thing, right?
Yeah.
What are some besides Bitcoin? What are some of the other currencies?
So you will hear lots of different names for the same thing. Right. So I've been talking about digital currency or virtual currency. You'll hear crypto assets or cryptocurrency, or magic internet money. It has lots of different names. People, depending on your level of understanding. I mean, all of those. It's a value transfer system. It's a different form of money. It's a money that you can't mess around with. Right. There are lots of other use cases for blockchain technology. So you can employ blockchain technology for things like record management. So if you need trust in a system, to say, for example, I got my degree from this university, what's there to stop you faking a degree certificate? But if it's on a blockchain and everybody can verify, David did go to university, and here we can see it, and we can all verify that he went to the university. That's a use case. You can also do like your international settlement, like you've sort of alluded to there. Supply chain management, alternative lending, decentralized finance. I mean, the lists are endless for this sort of for this technology, and I think importantly, each use case has got its own gas. Something to make it work, which is a coin or a token, like a Bitcoin. Right. People may have heard of Ethereum, which is like the running in the rear, the second largest and best known one.
So now, those are some of the advantages, David. What are some of the disadvantages before we get into the fraudulent stuff?
So some of the disadvantages at the moment, and this is a really early stage in the development of this technology, it's relatively difficult to use. People are unfamiliar with how to use it. You have to keep ownership of your value yourself, so it's your responsibility, which I actually think is a plus. But I think for somebody just getting into it, it's an unfamiliar concept because we're used to high street banks or investment firms or whoever else, keeping you safe. And if you send a transfer somewhere, maybe Butterfield or Scotia will help you return that payment if you've made a mistake. With virtual currency, it doesn't work like that. So if you send something, you lose control of it. So, which, again, there are two sides to that. I think in many cases it's a good thing, but it just puts a lot of responsibility on you as a user of the system.
To know how to use it and to be... Because if I send something and I lose it, it's gone. Because I was saying earlier, I watched this Netflix series, Startup, and they had a lot of that on there, and I was trying to, get the grasp of it, but I can see where the fraudulent side comes in, but I'll let you talk about it because I don't know. So, David, is this would you say that digital currency is a legitimate investment if I should invest my money into that? Would you say it's legitimate?
So I'm in an awkward position because I'm a police officer and because I'm not a financial advisor.
Right.
So I can't tell you to do it or not. Okay.
Right.
But what I can say is the technology that sits behind things like this is bona fide. It really does work, and it's been... people have tried to attack it and hack it and mess it up and profit from it and exploit its vulnerabilities for 13 years and haven't been successful. I don't think people should write it off as an asset class or a mechanism. I think it's an odd time to be talking about it because the markets have been really suffering in the sort of recent past, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it's difficult for me to advise you or advocate to go and buy it. Yeah, I mean, I think again, if you look at where we are with this sort of technology, we're probably turn of the millennium in terms of internet. So, like we all kind of knew what the internet was in 2000, but it hadn't really found its feet. And I think we're probably in the same place with virtual currency and how it works and. That sort of mass adoption and making it accessible for just everybody.
I guess I don't pay much attention to it, but after this segment on the Business Buzz, I'll pay more attention.
Yeah.
You, Julia?
Yeah, and I think that's the aim of this as well, to have people focus more on it and to learn more about it before they decide on investing.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, if I had money to invest, I'll give it a try.
Yes.
To see how it works, just to see how it works. We're going to take a quick break. If you're just joining us, this is the second and final segment of the Business Buzz this morning. We're speaking with Mr. David Templeman. He's the investigation specialist with the Cayman Islands Bureau of Financial Investigation. And joining him this morning, Ms. Jodianne Parry. She's a police media officer with our CIPS. Thanks to our sponsors this morning, Cayman Insurance Center and Cayman Medical Supplies. Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Still delivering island-wide for your convenience.
The Civil Service Association asks her members to join us on May 26 at 1 p.m. to choose our next Management Council at the 2022 Annual General Meeting. We're looking for a few good people to help us mature into an active, well-known, and indispensable employee organization. This is an exciting opportunity to give back while developing your leadership skills in employee rights and relations. Visit us at sixa.ky to learn more.
For the Health of It is heard on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and repeated on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. It is brought to you by Holy Cross Health. Quality medical care and advanced technology with sincere compassion and understanding. Our mission is you. Call 1-954-351-5906. Email global services at holy-cross.com or visit Holy Cross Health at holy-cross.com.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
We need some dancing music so I can get pulled off my cue, because I always miss my cue. Thank you, Susan. Welcome back to the Business Buzz. We're speaking with Mr. David Templeman of the Cayman RCIPS, but he's in the department, the Cayman Islands Bureau of Financial Investigation. He's an investigation specialist, and alongside him we have Ms. Jodianne Pori, Police Media Officer. Now, David, we're going to keep you here all morning because we want to hear more about this. Now, what are some of the red flags? Take, for instance, I say I have a few dollars I want to invest, and I've got myself caught up with, say Bitcoin. Let's go with Bitcoin. What are some of the red flags that I should look for as, I know you're not a financial advisor or anything like that, but what should I look for?
Yeah, I mean, this is something that I really can talk on, because I'm seeing these sorts of things. Okay. So the first thing that I really want to get across is about education. So if you're going to put your hard-earned money into something, you've got to put some effort in to try and understand it. So coming away from the virtual currency conversation slightly and looking at fraud more generally, these fraudsters are professionals, and what they do is they move their target around to different things. Like, for example, in 2000, 2001, when the dot-com boom was here, everybody's talking about the money to be made in Amazon or MySpace or, whatever was around at the time. So the frauds are focused on that. And similarly, if there's a new industry that comes out and people think they're going to make money, the fraudsters refocus there. And this is the same with digital currency and cryptocurrency. So when we're looking at frauds that I see coming over my desk, very few of them have actually got anything to do with cryptocurrency. So the premise is you're going to make millions. Come and invest your money with us because there's this huge exponential growth in your investment that we can help with. And they pose as sort of, financial advisors or some sort of management agent, and they play on people's inexperience and lack of education within this industry to get you in the door, to get you to part with your money. There's never any cryptocurrency bought and invested, but it could be, I think it's not fair to sort of tarnish cryptocurrency with this fraud element, because it might be anything, and in the past it has been lots of other different things. It's just because cryptocurrency's got a light shining on it at the moment. So I would say 90% of what I see, the frauds that come across my desk, they start off with unsuspecting investors that say, "Oh, I could make double my profit this year because I've seen other people do it," and that was the case right at the start of the industry. You could make 10 times your money, but with the markets matured now, that's really unrealistic. But people are still offering you those gains, and so people are falling for it. It's about where these things come from. So where should you be a bit more vigilant? So, frauds can come from word of mouth because somebody else thinks they're getting a good deal, and they'll tell you in a restaurant or at a friend's house, "Oh, I'm making money." They think they're making money. We've seen that. Social media platforms are a big one. Replying from things like YouTube comments. So people are sort of researching how to make investments, and they're replying to spurious YouTube promises to get you good investments. But they can come from anywhere. They can come from cold calling or WhatsApp messages or text messages, clicking web links that come through your email. So sometimes, quite a common thing that I see is where an email address looks to be from somebody reputable, but actually there's a digit changed. So, for example, if you got an email from the RCIPS, but it said RC1PS, and it looks the same, but it's going to a completely different place. So, those are the things to sort of watch out for. And then I suppose then we get on to your red flags and what to look for when you're, these brokers will sort of start you off small. So what they don't tend to do, what I've seen is that what they don't tend to do is start you off with $10,000. They start you off with a few hundred, because you're much less likely to scrutinise the arrangement with a small amount, and then they'll direct you to some sort of website that looks bona fide and that they have control of, and then they show you the gains that you've made. Oh, you've tripled your investment in only a few weeks. Completely unrealistic. But when it's you and you're logging in with your account, you think, oh, that's brilliant. I feel comfortable to put more money in now. And you do. And before long, you've put in 10,000. And that's how they will lure you in with that way. But at all times, the fraudsters are actually in control of this website, and they could put a million in. It's just some numbers that they put in at the back end of the website.
So how do you as an investigator, as an investigation specialist, how do you, because you said you have some of this come on your desk, right? Yeah. And this is your job. How do you track this sort of thing? How do you, I'm not sure if it's state secret, but how do you go after something like that?
So there are ways of tracking payments across different blockchains, but it's really difficult. And in terms of, like, if in any fraud, your major sort of agenda points as a police officer is, one, to try and find the perpetrator and bring them to account, and two, hopefully get some money back for the victim. They're your sort of two major things that you're trying to do. We've done both in the Cayman Islands Bureau of Financial Investigations. But it's really not the general sort of thing that happens after the event, because these people are sophisticated money launderers as well. And as soon as your money goes onto a blockchain or a bank account, it starbursts out and is layered and spirited away and deliberately, lost in the system. That's how this works. So it's really difficult to trace. Things like Bitcoin, much more easy to trace, because of the way that it works. But in order to profit from, if you were to give somebody Bitcoin as part of a fraud, in order for the fraudster to profit from that and get some money out, they're going to need to exchange it with somebody, and usually that's one of the sort of high street firms. They're called central virtual currency exchanges. Like you might have heard of Coinbase or Binance or KuCoin, these big sort of high street names. And what the fraudster would do is have an account there, send your money in the virtual currency there, and swap it for dollars or naira or pound sterling.
So to the person, because it's an open ledger, as you call it, right? I mean, everybody's seen what's going on. So during all that time, it's legit. I mean, it's a legit transaction, sort of. Would you say?
So the person receiving it, unless they have access to the tools that the RCIPS has access to, like a sort of policing investigative tool, there's no way for you to know as a recipient of that money that it's come from, Mrs. Bodden in Cayman Islands who's paid $10,000. So, it's difficult to tarnish the money going through the system, but if you know the entry point, which we would be told by the victim, you can trace it through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh gosh, I'm gonna write a mystery movie tonight. Script for a mystery movie tonight. No. So basically, how can we avoid being a victim of fraud, David?
Okay. So some of the sort of big things that I would say look out for are remote access to your computer. So I don't know if anybody's had this before, when you have somebody log onto your PC and you see your mouse moving on the screen, your cursor moving, and it's feels pretty strange.
Yeah, we do that because we take, for instance, we're a government department, so our help desk, the guys from computer services, they have access. I give them my computer name, and sometimes it's weird, I'm looking like, he's saying my business, but it's not my business. It's
So that's exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. So the reason that you feel comfortable letting somebody in the department take control of your PC is
Right.
because you trust them and they're
Correct.
within your government agency.
Correct.
If somebody else asks to do that and you don't know them or you don't trust them, don't let them do it. So not to sort of specify the sorts of programs, but things like TeamViewer and AnyDesk are the sorts of programs where people will ask you to install it. So if somebody asks you to install a software, TeamViewer and AnyDesk are the sort of most commonly used, and that's not to sort of they're reputable businesses, but they just are used in fraud quite often. So if somebody asks you to download software on your PC over the phone or over the internet, think about it. Don't just do it. If they've got control of your computer, they may have control of your bank account or your Bitcoin wallet or whatever else. Don't click on links that you don't know where they're from. They may redirect you to what looks like a reputable site, but is a fake site, and you'll be plugging all of your information in there. That's really important. Also, if you're on a website and the website doesn't look genuine, so there's poor grammar or the spelling's not quite right, or the site isn't particularly big and complex, they're red flags really, because they've just made it to extort money out of you, and they're quite clever. The fraudsters will, if they're attacking somebody in the Cayman Islands, they will use the common parlance, the government agencies, the email addresses that are familiar, like they'll have a .ky email address, or they'll cite one of the authorities here, or they'll use a 01345 code on the telephone. So
Right.
they're quite
Right.
clever. So look out for that as well. Also, if a new relationship, somebody you haven't known for very long, starts talking about investment advice and money quite quickly, you should your guard should be up there. You think, well, okay, this is unusual for you to be straying into this already. I see a lot of pressure selling as well. So somebody will say to you, oh, there's a window of investment here, and if you don't act within the next X number 24 hours, then you'll lose the opportunity, and you could have won this amazing. That usually is nonsense, and they're trying to. Your ability to contend with potential frauds is much worse if you're sitting there worried about maybe I'm going to miss the time. So that's a big thing that they do. And then withdrawal fees. Once you have been defrauded, often they'll sell your details. The fraudster will say, right, so Anita, this lady Anita, she's been defrauded. We think we've got her on the hook. Some other fraudster will come in and say, oh, we can get your money back for you, but all you need to pay is another 10% or another 20%, and they'll have a secondary go at you. And
so these guys work hand in hand.
Oh, absolutely. And in that I see that.
Circle.
Yeah, in the majority of cases that happens as well. It's really sad. Yeah.
Oh, I'm digesting that, David. Sorry about that. Now, where should someone like myself, an ordinary person like myself, go to do research on these type of investments?
So if you're interested in the general area and the technology, there are many places to go and get free advice. And if you just search free online tuition for blockchain or Bitcoin, there are tons of courses around. So I think even one of the universities on Ireland give a sort of foundation course in blockchain, and we're really lucky because we have lots of blockchain companies domiciled here. There are so many people on the island who are part of the community and will be really keen to speak to you. They won't sell you things; they just want to talk about it. And
we're not ready to buy anything.
No,
okay.
So yeah, there's a big community here that if you look up on what's on Cayman or something, there are lots of meetups and things like that, and you can start to learn about it and read about it. So yeah, don't just jump in with both feet and $10,000. It's probably a bad idea.
I'm glad we're having this discussion, David. You, Juliet?
Yes, absolutely.
I think you are ready to invest.
And maybe not just yet. Maybe I will take that class at UCCI first.
I think so. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue discussion with Mr. David Templeman from the RCIPS. He's an investigation specialist with the Cayman Islands Bureau of Financial Investigation, and Jody Ann Parry, police media officer, as well in the studio.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
And for 45 years, we have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
The Health Services Authority's new pharmacy is now open at the Smith Road Medical Center. The new location features a large, comfortable waiting area and ticketing system to improve the patient experience. All uncollected prescriptions and refill requests previously submitted will now be available for collection at the Smith Road Pharmacy. Request your refills online at hsa.ky via WhatsApp 925-6532 or call 244-2715. For more information about our pharmacy hours, visit hsa.ky.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
On a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Can I send a request, please?
You don't really have to ask us. Just send a request.
This is a shout out to my ex.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Winding down the Business Buzz on this beautiful Thursday morning. We have in studio, as I mentioned earlier, Mr. David Templeman, Cayman Islands Bureau of Financial Investigation. He's an investigation specialist, and of course with the RCIPS, and Jody Ann Bowery, police media officer. Now, David, I could sit here all day and listen to you without asking any questions because you're just flowing into what we want to hear this morning. Now, just before we wrap up, what are some of your main takeaway points for our listeners this morning? You know, just back up a little bit and recap. Fraud.
Yep.
You know, how we can avoid it, what we should look for, some of the red flags.
Okay, so I think some of these things are probably apply to any investment fraud or any investment that you might make. It's not just about virtual currency investments. There are lots of people on the island who are much more experienced in this and work in the industry, and they'll have lots of other technical things to think about. But just generally, just take a breath. So research, learn stuff about what you're doing and what you're investing in, and pause and don't do things, really quickly. Do some due diligence. If you're going to give somebody $10,000, you want to make sure that they're a legitimate company, or they're not going to rip you off. So just wait and do just Google them with scam after their name. See what comes up. A lot of the ones that come across my desk, unfortunately, if the victim had just Googled the company name and then scam or fraud after that in Google, it would have come up with like a screaming red light to say, don't put your money here. There are lots of sites that sort of look at trust and give them a rating, and it's pretty obvious if somebody else has been defrauded, then you probably will be as well. Talk to people about it. Don't do it all on your own. If you're sitting there and you haven't run through the circumstances with a friend or a family member or a colleague, you probably want to do that because maybe you're in the middle of it and you can't see the wood for the trees, or whatever the phrase is. If for example, you said to your colleague, I'm thinking about investing here, they might say, maybe you shouldn't do that because I'm seeing something objectively that you're not seeing. So talk it through something. One of the takeaway points is I've said it before, but just because it's virtual currency, Bitcoin, it doesn't mean it's criminal. It's a good use case. It's a good technology. They don't ban machete, in the hardware store just because you could use it for violence. It's that sort of point. When you realise that something's up and perhaps you have been defrauded, stop, sit on your hands, don't do anything. There's a tendency I've seen to sort of try and spend your money out, spend your way out of a situation, but the likelihood is you're never going to be able to do that. So that money has been laundered many, many months ago when you initially paid it, and these promises of getting it back, like I sort of touched on it earlier about, if you just pay a little bit more, it's like this sort of sunk cost. Well, I've already paid 80,000, so another 5,000 to try and get it back is worth it. It never is. So and I think the last point that I really want to sort of, it's a bit of a sort of softer point, but if you are defrauded, don't beat yourself up too much about it, because these people are good. Like, they're really, really clever, really they're professional. They do this for a living, and they're really convincing, and their frauds are sophisticated. And I have seen, you wouldn't believe the people that I've seen getting defrauded on this. I've seen, police officers themselves be defrauded. I've seen captains of industry come in and say that they've been had. I've even had, several people from the sort of virtual currency community who work in the industry themselves. They've been defrauded. So it does happen, and it's really sad, but try not to sort of be too embarrassed about it, because it won't do you any good.
Does the Cayman Islands Bureau of Investigation, Financial Investigation, do you offer like classes and maybe bits of sessions for the ordinary citizen out there, Jodianne, or would you know?
Not as yet. Is that a request, Miss Anita?
Yes, it is.
Well, we'll see what we can do.
Since David broke the ice here this morning, I mean, it'll be good for the general public to have some, just general information, a whole lot more.
Certainly. I do know that our community officers, for instance, do crime prevention workshops with various businesses and stuff like that. So maybe it's something that we could work together on.
Yeah, I'll take that away as an idea. I think there's a difficult line, because we can't be sort of advising. But yeah, like as a sort of fraud prevention angle, I don't see why not.
Yeah. I had a question, David. You mentioned earlier that you find that some people are a little bit embarrassed when they're defrauded. Does that mean that you believe that that these kinds of frauds are unreported?
Yeah. I strongly believe that. I think from the ones that I see, there must be many more where people just don't want to tell anybody about it. They don't want to tell their families, and they certainly don't want to come and report it to police. But there is a chance that we could find the person, get them held to account. We have had people arrested overseas as part of these sort of cases. We have found money at the end of the trail. Not often, but we can do it.
Yeah.
And again, if people just want to report the circumstances, not pursue the investigation or the case themselves, but
it's
they
good
just
for our database as well.
It's good for and also to protect other people, because if we can get a website shut down, or we can advise the public in a better way because you've reported it, that's got to be good. So
David, I'm not sure if this might be a part of your remit, but how does it work with regards to money laundering? I mean, how does that work? Can you give us an idea?
In terms of
moving money from, say human trafficking.
Yeah.
And they want to clean that money up. How does it work into that crypto base?
So, fraudsters and criminals in general, whatever their crime type, whatever the predicate offence, like drugs or immigration crime, whatever the base crime is, they're going to want to try to launder the money as quickly and easily as they can at the lowest cost. So a professional money launderer might take 40% as a tax to launder it for you, whereas with crypto, and you can do it yourself relatively easily, relatively quickly. So of course they're going to try and utilise that. The speed of this money, the speed of Bitcoin, for example, it's like lightning fast. It's super fast. Whereas if you're using a bank-to-bank transfer overseas, you could be talking 2 or 3 days for a payment to go through. You can do this instantly. So people will tend to gravitate towards using this for laundering.
Because there's no compliance here. I
mean, there is compliance.
There is, okay.
When you're putting it on the network, or when you're taking it off, so on and off ramps of the currency, and that would be, it's the responsibility of the centralised currency exchange, like the sort of high street bank crypto. It's their responsibility to make sure that these people aren't known criminals. But it's at the moment, because the industry is in its infancy, it's difficult for them to do anything. But yeah, I suppose the point there is it is used for money laundering, but I think any new technology is going to be exploited for its plus points. So it's not the fault of virtual currency systems.
So an investigation specialist like yourself, your work is split between virtual and what's happening around terra firma. I don't know if you want to put it that way.
Well, I suppose a lot of the work of the unit is not involved in cryptocurrency. So we're looking at regulatory offences and how trust and company service providers are behaving, and we satisfy a lot of international requests from partners around the world. The FBI and the NCA, they come to us and say, look, we've had some money we think is criminal go into your jurisdiction, or we do a lot of sanction stuff, especially at the moment. But yeah, increasingly it is going into the sort of virtual currency area, which is arriving on Ireland for the first time in 2020 and having very little knowledge of this area. I immediately thought, I need to get up to speed and learn this because this is in all of our futures.
We need to, Judy, as well.
In some form or another, this isn't going away. So I need to become sort of cognizant of how to investigate it at least. So.
All right. Anything you want to leave with us, David, this morning?
No, I just want to say I will be looking to put a lot of these information up on our crime prevention page with David's assistance in narrowing down the preventative stuff that we can do. So have a look out for that on our website, rcips.ky. And thank you for having us.
David, how about you?
Just want to say if we have listeners sitting at home there thinking, I have been defrauded and I am embarrassed, but I do want to tell somebody, please do. You can come and speak to us. It will probably be me you speak to. So you can email us at info@sibfi.ky, which is Charlie Indigo Bravo Foxtrot Indigo Kilo Yankee.
And you expect me to remember that?
Yeah, of course. Sibfi. We'll stick it on the website afterwards anyway.
Is there a number we can reach you on, David, or
I think,
or Jodianne?
If you want to make a report of fraud, you just call the Georgetown Police Station 949-4222, and they will direct you directly to the bureau.
Okay, and if they want to speak to David in particular, it's David Templeman.
Yes.
Yeah, but if you go into a police station and report it, it's likely to be able to. It will come through to us, to our unit anyway.
Yeah. Okay. David, I want to say thank you so much. It's been so informative. You put me on my guard, and I also want to do my research. And Julianne, thank you as usual for coming in and either supporting or telling us just about what's going on in the RCIPS.
Thank you for having me. And I just want to leave with saying that our website also has a feedback function. So you can go on our website and you can click on the feedback page and you can leave comments, whether it be an opinion on the topic or whatever the case may be, or if you have some kind of information that you want to share, you can do so using that or even our tip line section on our website as well. So, yeah.
Thank you, Julianne. Thank you, David. You've been listening to The Business Buzz. You just heard from Julianne Parry, Police Media Officer with the RCIPS, and Mr. David Templeman. And he's an investigation specialist with the Cayman Islands Bureau of Financial Investigation, also a department of the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service. Thank you so much. I want to thank our first guest this morning from GNC, Melanie De Haney, and of course to all our listeners, our YouTube viewers, and the producer of The Business Buzz, Ms. Susan Watson. Until Tuesday, May 17th, when we bring you another Business Buzz. Thanks to our sponsors this morning, Cayman Insurance Center and Cayman Medical Supplies. In the meantime, please stay safe. From me, it's Anita Can. Goodbye.
The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Call them at 949-6211. And Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services.
You are listening to Radio Cayman, the voice